I could build a spaceship.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Space Doc Jury Minisode number 6. This is a very different Minisode. It's just me at the moment, but what you're going to hear is going to be very relevant to any further episodes going forward. As some of you may or may not know, if you were on the Space Doc Jury Facebook group, you would notice that occasionally the words Button Moon and Mr. Spoon's ship appear. And you may have been thinking, well, are they just taking the piss? Is that just like a random comment about a really terrible spaceship? But no. In fact, it was a very real thing that very rarely happened. You see, just to give you some background before you hear the following recording, Andy Placides and myself were asked on to the rather awesome Shonky Lab, run by Mr. Elton McManus, which you can find on iTunes, and you can find at shonkylab.co.uk, and also on rogue2.com, and you can find the Shonky Lab category on there. And we were on there, and basically the format of Shonky Lab is that Elton just talks to people about certain subjects, random subjects, nothing specific. And this time, spaceships came up. So obviously, yours truly and Mr. P were brought on to as guests to discuss spaceships and talk specifically about Space Doc Jury. Pete couldn't do it because his boss was back from high on heaven, so unfortunately he wasn't around to stop what happened next. And so, what happened was got round to talking about our scoring system, which I'm sure everyone's kind of wondering about, and even we were at this point. And so, to test it out, Elton came forward with a suggestion. And from this point on, you will now hear the Shonky Lab.
Jesus, you're even battling over that.
I know. I just everything, man. It's like two fucking kids.
It is. I'm going to bash your heads together very, very soon.
Sorry, Dad.
Okay.
He started it.
I did start it, and you followed up.
Stop! I've warned you both.
I'll turn this spaceship around. I swear.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome back to Shonky Lab. This is part 2 of us talking about spaceships and utter guff.
Yes.
I'm joined by Mr. Lee Metcalf.
Hello.
And Andy Placides.
Hello.
Good. Right. Okay, right. We're all back in the room again.
Yes.
One thing I've noticed on our little break that we've had, I wrote down the Button Moon ship on my notes. I've got one note, and I thought, oh, Button Moon.
The one space. It's not actually eligible because while it is able to go to the moon, it is not interplanetary. So unfortunately, under our system, it wouldn't be eligible.
For your show.
Oh, okay.
But we're on the Shonky Lab.
Oh, in that case, it fits right in.
Yes, it does, yeah. I've just noticed.
Okay, Elton. Okay, so the Button Moon ship. So we're going to do this, yeah?
Yeah, right. we're doing the Button Moon ship.
Right, so size. What are you giving it for size?
Well, there's a mouse in it.
There's a mouse. Well, okay. We'll peek behind the curtain a little bit now. Now, with size on Space Doc Jury, you've got between 1 and 15 to choose from, right?
Okay.
Now, if a ship is scoring 15, let me just get this up so it's right. I think we're saying it's 50. There we go. Right. I have the matrix open here. So anything over 15 is over 100 kilometers in length, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're scoring a 10, you're about 1 kilometer. And then 0 to 9 are 100-meter increments. So whereabouts do you think the Button Moon ship's going to go?
Well, this is what I've just discovered about the Button Moon ship.
Mm-hmm.
The middle compartment of the ship is made of a baked bean can.
It's a baked bean can?
It's a baked bean. I've never noticed that. Not that I've ever watched it in the last 20 years.
I think we'll probably have to give that a 0, Lee. Would you say?
I'd say a 0.
All right, so that's a 0. Okay, so we'll give it a 0 for size. Now for speed.
Well, you say 0, but 0 would not exist. So there is some sort of mass there.
0 to 100.
I'm sure there's a deck.
Yeah, but 0 to 100 meters is 0. 100 meters to 200 meters is 1.
Ah, okay, but then yes, 0.
Yes. So speed. Now speed we break into 3 categories.
Yep.
Our first is sublight speed. So how long would you think it would take for the Button Moon ship to cross the solar system? Just roughly.
Well, the TV show aired in 1970 odd.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon it's still going now.
Okay, so I recommend we're probably going to assume it's going to take years to get there. So that's going to give you a 1 for sublight.
Okay, I'm on the board.
Now for FTL.
I'm on the board with Button Moon ship. I don't care.
It's not wibbly wobbly timey wimey.
No, you're not.
It's not instantaneous jumps. It's not limited instantaneous jumps. It's not jump gates. It's not warp. In fact, I don't think it has any FTL, does it?
Does it go faster than light? I don't think it does.
No, I don't think it does. Only due to the fact that one of their crews appeared to be a man with spoons for arms.
We'll come to that when we get to crew, but for the moment,
crew.
so for FTL we'll give it a 0. Now maneuverability. Now a chance to score back some points here. This is between 1 and 5. Now, if you're scoring 5, you're really maneuverable like a White Star or like a super maneuverable fighter. And if it's 1, a flying brick. Now, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I'm guessing we're talking a flying brick.
I reckon it's more maneuverable like a London cab.
That's still flying brick regions.
That's still a 1.
To be honest. Yeah.
Though, point of order.
Yes.
Just to bring this up, on the chat, Brian has said that Button Moon ship makes it to the moon from Earth in a couple of minutes, and that's bloody fast.
Oh, that is.
So we might have
to revise the sublight speed
2
to 2. Yeah, I'm happy to say that. Yeah, because as we know, space is big. No, it's really big. I mean, you might think going down to your shops is a long way, but that's nothing compared to space. So we'll give it 2 for sublight.
Okay.
Now, firepower. There you go. Right. Now, again, we have a range of 15 here. If you score a 15 for firepower, you have the ability to destroy stars and entire solar systems with a single shot. At 10, you can destroy a capital ship with a single shot. At 1, you have like armed support craft like Starbug. So where do we think the Button Moon ship's going to come on firepower?
Well, okay, I have been thinking about this, and I think all the firepower would probably come from one of their crewmates. You have the family of Mr. Spoon and his wife, and their daughter and son, who is an egg, I think. Okay. And I do believe...
Was the milkman also an egg? A chicken, perhaps? I'm just saying, there's a conversation to be had there.
The boy here... I do believe he has bouts of Tourette's, and so that could be classed as the firepower.
Unfortunately, no, because I think that's more of a marine compliment, if you will. So again, that comes under crew. So I think we're going to have to give it 0 for firepower, I'm afraid.
Nuts. I was going for a 2 at least.
Oh no, you see a 2, you're talking fighters, things like X-wings and so forth.
An X-wing versus the Button Moon ship.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
I think it probably just run it over. Back on the chat.
Yes.
Jim's decided to wade in, and he says actually the Button Moon ship doesn't just travel from the Earth to the Moon; it's travelling from the junk planet across the blanket sky to Button Moon.
Well, can Jim give me the distances involved here? I mean, come on now. I need some facts. I need statistics. Damn it! Well, how many miles is this?
He said that's 238,900 miles.
Well, that's to our moon. And Jim's saying it's a different planet altogether. I mean, give me stuff to work with here, people. Anyway, we'll come back to that. We'll keep this moving.
Yeah. And Doreen thinks that the Button Moon ship has the ability to fire cold baked beans.
Well, no, it's empty because they're living inside it. So where's it storing the ammo? Think about this, people.
In the funnel on top.
Unless you can show me some on-screen evidence, I'm afraid we're going to have to assume it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Is that a roll of sellotape for the boosters? I'm not too sure.
We're on to defence now. Defence. Now, defence is split into 3 categories: active, passive, and special. Now, active defence, if it's a very manoeuvrable ship, can move out of the way of bullets or anything like that, or if it has like point defence weapons. Does it have any kind of active defence at all?
It can run away, and if that bottom roll is a roll of sellotape, then maybe it could put the sellotape screen up, which it is very famous for.
Is it?
Or maybe Mr. Spoon could throw one of his wellies out.
He throws welly out, is he?
As a diversionary tactic.
You might be able to plead that under special, which we'll come to in a minute. But
Very special.
I think we're going to have to give it a 0 for active defense. Now, passive defense.
Hold on.
Yeah?
Hold on. Point from the Mixler chat.
Yes.
Just pointed out that Mr. Spoon helps with a pair of scissors, which have accidentally at times cut the thread holding Button Moon to the blanket sky.
Wow, ooh, that could almost be planet destroying, couldn't it?
That's almost planet destroying. I think that's pretty fucking hefty, actually.
I'll tell you what, then. I'll tell you what. We'll give that a 15. No, 14. We're 14. That's one shot destroying a planet. That is. So 14 for 5. You're at 15 points now, Elton. See?
No, 17.
17.
17 points. I'm keeping the track.
You're giving it? Oh, it's 17. Well, you're doing all right. You're doing better than the X-Bomber.
That's good enough for me.
I wish you were, but that's just not true. Unfortunately, that thing won't die. But anyway, so passive defense. Now 5 is if you have perfect shields. You just can't get through those things at all.
Sellotape.
3 is shit shields. 0 is tinfoil, effectively. I'm leaning towards tinfoil, if I'm honest.
Well, it is a baked bean can.
Well, it's a little bit more than tinfoil, but 1 is low-level armor. I don't think you can really argue that a baked bean can is armor.
It's corrugated.
Lee, give me a ruling here. What do you think?
I reckon you could argue baked bean cans as armor.
Yeah.
How effective you get it, I don't know. I'd give it a 1.
All right, we'll give you the 1. We'll give you the 1 for a passive defense. Now we're into special, so this is where your sellotape shields could come in.
Okay.
Has it got anything like a cloaking device or regeneration or wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey stuff that, potentially, could help you in a jam?
If the man who's holding the string, which is holding the Button Moon ship, passes in between the ship and the light that is shining on it, it disappears into his shadow.
Cloaking device.
Oh, that's easily worth a 1.
There you go.
There you go. So we'll give you 1 for special. Right.
Look at me, I'm on fire with Button Moons.
Right. So now, realization, okay? How well realized is the exterior of the Button Moon ship?
How well?
Wait, it's made of kitchen material.
It is somewhat made of kitchen material, but you could argue that is the point. Unfortunately, it's only out of 5 for the exterior. You can have it at 1 to 5.
5, just to give you an idea, 5 is top of the line Star Wars special effects. Number 1 is basically...
I think number 1 actually is a couple of baked bean cans and a funnel stuck together.
It is the spaceship from Star Crash. I mean, it is Blue Peter, Tracy Island.
I'd be happy with a 3.
I'm sure you would be happy with a 3, but it's not happening. I'm going to give you 1 for exterior realization, I'm afraid.
I'll give it 1 just for holding together.
Nowadays, it would be made with Tipex bottles as well, but unfortunately, Tipex wasn't
It was
made.
in the 70s, so you're stuck with what you're stuck with.
Yeah, though Brian has pointed out, no offense to Elton, but this is sounding like a special edition of Space Dock Jury. And forget the. And Jack Woodgate would like to ask: can we see where the bridge is?
Oh, we're getting to that because now we're up to interior realization. You see, now I've got to say this does suffer a little bit from TARDIS syndrome. It does appear to be bigger on the inside, and there's not a huge amount of correlation between what you see inside the ship and the outside. So I'm probably going to have to give it 1 again here for the interior realization, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I'm afraid I agree. It's not right.
But it's clean inside. The baked bean tin has been cleaned. There are no burrs on the hole that has been cut for Mr. Spoon to put his head out of. So he's in no danger of hurting himself whatsoever.
That's why we're giving you the 1.
Yeah, just be glad we're giving you the 1.
Yeah, we could give you nothing. Now here's a chance for you to really score some points, though, Elton.
Okay.
Be on your mind. Now we come to the science. How well does the science stack up?
Okay.
For Button Moon ship. Now, if it's scoring a 5, we call it Tyson-proof. In that Neil deGrasse Tyson himself, the biggest troll.
I'll stop you there.
Science fiction.
I'll stop you there.
Yeah.
I'm going for 5.
Yeah. No. Let's hear the reasoning. Come on, come at me, Elton. Come at me.
Oh God!
Come on, you can't just say the number. You got to defend it.
How do I turn this mic off?
I don't know, but all I know is I took
been trying for 5 episodes. It can't.
I took some Solpadeine earlier on, and I think it may have gone off because the conversation I can hear in my ears it just sounds very surreal.
You wait until we get to crew.
That's coming up after this, Elton. Come on, what are you going for science? How well does the science stack up for the Button Moon ship? And in the audience, please, in Mixler, how well do you think the science matches up in the Button Moon ship?
I think it flies just as well as a baked bean can with a funnel and a roll of sellotape on its bottom would. And I think it's how you would... If Neil deGrasse Tyson had a baked bean can, put a funnel on the top, and built this with his children, it would fly exactly how it does on the show.
I'll tell you what, right? I'm going to give you one, and do you know why I'm going to give you the one?
Because
to make this go faster?
No, it's because that's what we gave the X-Bomber, and the effects in Button Moon are better than the effects in Starfleet.
Yeah, that's true. That is very
true. So
you
can have your one for that. Because, yeah.
This is close to actually appearing on our wall.
This is kind of disturbing. Well, we're up to crew now. So now for crew, we split it into 2 categories.
Right,
The first one is how many crew members you have. Now, at 10, you have 20,000 plus. And then you go all the way down to, at 5, you've got 250 to 1,000 crew members, and 1 is between 1 and 5. So whereabouts on that scale would you like to go for Button Moon?
Well, I've just put a picture in the chat of what I am classing as the crew. Now, bearing in mind, this crew does...
It's still better than Starfleet.
Wait. We're getting there. It does have a man with wooden spoons for arms and welly boots on.
Yeah.
That is the dad. There is a daughter made of a shampoo bottle, I think. A mum made of a toilet brush with also spoons for arms. And
Are you judging her? Because that sounded very judgmental.
Get this. There is a teddy bear with a wand. There's a teddy bear in red dungarees, I do believe.
Now,
the choice of spaceflight.
I'm hoping Jim and Brian will back me up on this, but I believe only 3 of those are actually crew members of the Button Moon ship. The others are actually inhabitants of the moon.
Well, I'm afraid if you go to the right-hand side of the picture, and you can see a man made from a milk bottle carton, and he has a little son. I do believe the son once appeared on the ship itself.
The passengers do not count as crew. We've recently had this discussion. You've got to be actually part of the crew, not just a passenger. So,
by the way, can I ask a question?
Of course.
The son of the milk bottle man.
Yes.
Is he Mummy's special toy that the kids aren't allowed to play with?
Well, I have a picture of him right here. Hang on, let me just...
oh dear God, please let us not be in situ.
Hang on, and Summers.
Omega craft again.
Jim says he believes the chaps are Captain Large and the Bottle Army who live on Button Moon. So,
see, in the picture that I've put in the chat, you do have the sun, and he does have a red bobble hat.
That's an egg. That's completely different to the.
He is an egg and an egg cup, and you can see interior there.
You can see exterior.
Amazing.
We were very generous with that one, as you can see.
Oh, give over! Look at it. It's amazing.
Right,
but it really doesn't fit inside the other ship.
Shush.
Because look, if you look at Mr. Spoon.
Wait. Are you saying, Lee? Are you saying that Mr. Spoon is a Time Lord?
I'm saying that this may not be the most well thought out spaceship ever created. I'll be honest.
I've just noticed that Mr. Spoon's hat is an actual plastic bowl turned over on its head. I've never noticed that.
So
okay. All right, getting back to the scoring. So,
okay.
so how many crew members I'm saying you got 4 at most.
Four.
4 at most.
Yep.
So that's a 1. You got 1 for crew number. Right. Now you come to crew competency, and strangely enough, I somehow think you might score well here. How competent are the crew of a Button Moon spaceship?
I think they are very competent. What is the scale of?
Right, the scale is between 1 and 5. At
Right.
5, and I think we need to change this as well. But 5, as it currently stands, is your legendary Starfleet crew. You know, they can do no wrong.
Okay, right.
And you go all the way down to 0, which is the crew of a Red Dwarf.
I'm going for 4 because
Oh my
they
God.
always get to Button Moon.
You know what? I'm going to give you that 4 for that very reason.
Thank you very much.
Firstly, they make it to Button Moon in that thing. And secondly, they managed to fly a baked bean can, a smaller can, and a funnel to Button Moon. I mean, that alone. That's
And
happy to give
back.
it 4 there. Yeah, and they make. I mean, let's face it, getting there's only half a story. You know. So
Okay, so now we're coolness.
right, we're a cool factor. Now me, Lee, and yourself get to take part in here. So what happens now is you have 4 points to award it for how cool you think it is, and me and Lee each have 3, and this tots up to a total of 10. So Elton, how cool do you think the Button Moon ship is out of 1 to 4?
1 to 4. Okay, I would go a 2.
You're only giving it 2. You can give it all 4 of your points if you want. I mean, because it adds up to 10 in total. So
I'm happy with myself going for a 2 because it hasn't got an orange cone or funnel on the top. It has gone for the white one.
Right.
Also, but it is a Heinz baked bean can.
It does have the label on there.
Yes, and which I never noticed before. And Heinz are pretty much the best. So they are flying in good stuff. So I'd say I'm going for a 2. I'm pretty confident I will get my 2.
Oh no, you have your 2. You can award it as many as you want. You get those points.
No,
We won't argue with you about it. That's
okay.
the thing.
I'm
Coolness
happy
is a
with
subjective thing.
I'm happy with 2.
You're happy with 2. So Lee, how many points would you like to award it?
Fuck all. But I've got to give it 1.
You got to give it at least 1. Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm giving it 1.
Does
You're
have
giving
go
it 1.
faster stripes.
It does. Now I would, if possible, like to take points away from it for bringing this in, but I can't, as you mentioned. So I too will have to give it 1. I'll give it 1 point.
Sweet.
So we don't have Peter here to make sure it's right.
I have been totting up the scores, and
Totting up the scores.
It's terrifying. Actually, I think we might need to go away and think these scores up again.
So are we going to have to do another revision here? Right, so the Button Moon ship, what did it score?
Well, at the moment, Thunderbird 3 is at the bottom of our table at the moment with 32 points.
Right.
The Button Moon ship has 31. Frankly,
if I'd gone for 4, I would have beaten it.
gone for 4, you would have beaten the Thunderbird 3 and the Eagle Transporter.
Which were both Lee's ships.
Which are both my ships have been beaten by an inadmissible Button Moon tin can with a fun at the fucking top.
Well, yeah. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Button Moon ship. It's only 2 points less good than Thunderbird 3. You heard it here first.
If it had actually made it onto the board, I think you'd have to revise everything.
Oh, no.
I won't tell you where on the scoreboard now Thunderbird 3 and the Eagle Transporter currently sit, because that would give it away for an episode that's coming up. But suffice to say, we've got a few ships in front of it now.
1 or 2, yes.
1 or 2. Oh God, I'm actually going to make a note of that on our spreadsheet.
I think. Well, yeah. I think we probably should have an honourable mention there.
Yeah, 31 points. Fuck my boots.
Well, to be fair, I mean, a lot of that did hinge on its planet-destroying capabilities. So, I mean,
yeah, curse you, Jim.
Yes.
Wherever you are now, I'm cursing you because
hell's heart we stab at thee.
Because he managed to give it 14 points straight out of the gate just with a pair of fucking scissors.
Space Dock Jury is a production of 3 Angry Beards for GeekPlanetOnline.com.